Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Wissam Zarqa, and I will report short summary or summaries of a subject I'm teaching at ILS Institute of Language Studies, which is research writing. Research writing is a part of academic writing. Academic writing is a wider term, in fact. Here, there are 8 sessions in this course. Today, I'll talk about the first one, which is paraphrasing. So why paraphrasing is so important when we talk about research? Research starts with somehow more or less looking at the literature, what other people have written or studied concerning what I'm researching. So this is called literature, what people have already, other scientists, other researchers have studied. So here you have to read it. And sometimes you have to summarize, sometimes you have to paraphrase. So I will start with paraphrasing, and next session will be summarizing anyway, because you have to show what others have found, and you have to build on it, add to it. This is the nature of knowledge, after all, adding on what others have already found or established. So this is paraphrase. Why do we have to paraphrase? Why can't we just take copy-paste? Plagiarism. Even if you mention the source, it's still considered plagiarism because you are just making no effort. When you want to add to the body of knowledge, at least you should explain something in a different way, maybe simplify it, maybe make it more related to your context anyway, using different way of explaining it. So that's why paraphrasing is important. And even if you not mention the source, if you want to write a thesis, master degree or a PhD degree, it's not accepted. Or you want to publish in a journal, it's not accepted to copy and paste even if you mention the source. Some percent is accepted. It's different from one university to another, from one journal to another. But in general, you cannot just copy paste even if you mention the source. So how can we paraphrase? First of all, it's an important idea. When you paraphrase, you don't change the long or the length of the text. Maybe a little bit, make it a little bit shorter, a little bit longer, but this is not summary after all. This is paraphrasing. So this is the first idea. And the second idea here is that when you paraphrase, you have 3 techniques you can use. Some people think only you need to use synonyms. Yeah, this is one technique. Like the example here, for example, evidence of a lost civilization has been found off the coast of China. We can paraphrase it in a different way and say remains instead of evidence of an ancient society instead of lost civilization have been discovered instead of found in the near sea instead of the coast. So this is synonyms. We are using synonyms, but it is the only way? No, it's not. So we have different ways. This is just some more practice about it. Here are the 3 techniques we can use for paraphrasing. The first one, changing vocabulary, which is synonyms, more or less. Studies, research, society, civilization, mud, deposits. These are somehow synonyms. This is the first technique. The second technique, changing word class. You said Egypt, and now you make it Egyptian. So changing from a noun into an adjective. Mountainous regions to in the mountains. Just you change the adjective into a noun. So this is also possible when you don't find another a suitable synonym, because sometimes you have synonyms, but it doesn't work here. It's not enough to say, okay, this is synonym of this, and you use it. Not all synonyms work the same way anyway. So you can use this way too, which is changing word class, or we call it word family. Now, the third technique is changing word order. For example, ancient Egypt collapsed, the collapse of Egyptian society began. Here, when you change the word order, also you have to change something in the grammar. So let's see example of the 3 here. The first one here, find synonyms. This is let's not do the practice. Let's do the example. See the example here. So sleep scientists have found the traditional remedies of insomnia, such as counting sheep, are ineffective. Insomnia, it means when you have troubles at night when you want to sleep. So sleep researchers, instead of scientists, we say researchers, have found that established cures. So instead of traditional remedies, we can say established cures for insomnia. For instance, instead of such as counting sheep do not work instead of ineffective. For sure, using ineffective is much better. You know, like in academic word, when you can use one word, don't use two words. So here, three words for one word. One word is for sure much better. So here, synonyms. This is the first technique. This is an example. Let's go to another technique, the second technique, which is change the word class. A third group was given no special instructions about going to sleep. You can just put it this way. A third group was not specially instructed about going to sleep. So special became specially. So this is special is adjective, specially is adverb. Instructions is a noun. Instructed is verb in the passive. So this is the other technique, the second technique, which is using different word class. So I said word family here. So it's about speech parts here. And the third technique, change the word order of the following sentence. This is the example. There are many practical applications to research into insomnia. So we can just put it this way. Instead of there are, we use the verb has, so we can change the order. So research into insomnia has many practical applications. So the first part here became the last part here became the first part. Mainly, we can do that when we use passive. That will help us a lot, sorry. And when we use relative pronouns, also they are very helpful when you want to use this technique. So again, paraphrasing is very important in the research world. This is number one. Number two, there are three techniques to do it. And number three, and most important, this is the theoretical part, but practice makes perfect. Thank you for listening.